2012 Tasmanian Football Hall of Fame icon, Brent Croswell.
Well, Brent Croswell, he's a bit of a genius type of player, Brent Croswell. He was a player that had the capacity to play either end of the ground early on in the history of football. He's quite brilliant. Played on him once or twice myself, but a much better player than myself, and he could change a game. There's no doubt about that.
The record of Brent Tiger Croswell includes 8 grand finals, all coached by Ron Barassi, 4 premierships, 1 draw in 1977 and 3 losses. In the 1970 and 75 premierships, he was listed as best on ground by many.
Quite brilliant lead, smart, absolute marvellous mark, good kick of a footy, and in general his capacity to be a mobile, sort of tallish type player, not that he was tall in height, but he could play fairly tall for his height.
Recruited from Campbelltown in Tasmania, where he never played for the senior side, Croswell made his Carlton debut in 1968, capping off the season by starring in Carlton's 3-point grand final defeat of Essendon. 2 years later, he reconfirmed his reputation as a big game player, with a best on ground performance in the Blues' sensational grand final win over Collingwood.
It was a fantastic experience. I mean, I don't want to use cliches to describe it, but certainly that, and then the 1970 grand final, which was a seemingly impossible win, to come back like that in those days, 8 goals, something at half time. That was an amazing win. And it's always good to play well in games, in grand finals like that. So you remember those games, and also it's the 75 grand final. It's a great moment for me too.
Brent always played in good teams. He did. He's just a fantastic player, and he could actually help that team with that added talent that he had. And that's the difference between Brent Croswell and probably other teammates he had.
I was fortunate to go to the best clubs. The club that won a premiership in his first year, and played a premiership in the second year, premiership in the third year, and so on. It went right the way through. And I went to North. We played in 4 more premierships. So, I think diminishing returns set in after a while, and I got a bit sick of it. The repetition, football's limitations in itself. I mean, it's only a game. It was difficult, but I could have been handled, I think. I mean, we're always more, knowledgeable in retrospect after the event, So, in sum, I'm happy with everything. I'm happy with the way it all turned out.
Croswell was a highly skilled, intelligent and flamboyant player, sufficiently versatile to play in a variety of positions.
He was dangerously brilliant and he would always try to seek how to win in a different way sometimes. And he challenged his coaches, there's no doubt about that. He would challenge Barassi.
But when he was on the job, boy, I mean, I've never won a premiership as a coach without him as a player.
And a real character, a lot of fun around football, and the game needs those sort of people. So for him to be, elevated into a position where everybody in Tasmania can rejoice with him and his family, that's just fantastic for Brent Croswell.
2012 Tasmanian Football Hall of Fame icon, Brent Croswell.